Well, the Democrats, they're invading New York. Senator Bernie Sanders and Secretary Hillary Clinton, with a little help from President Bill Clinton, they're all pounding the pavement in the Empire State.
I think that if you get paid $250,000 a speech, it must be an extraordinary, mind-blowing, earth-shattering speech.
We have had a lot of challenges. But what I love about New York is we don't whine and moan about it. We roll up our sleeves and get to work.
But the main thing I want to say is you need a change maker.
I just don't know why Wall Street has not invited me to speak before them.
I have 1 million more votes than Donald Trump, and I have 2.5 million more votes than Bernie Sanders.
I love being a spouse when Hillary was a senator.
We can win with your support the general election.
Fox News Chief White House Correspondent Ed Henry is live in New York City. Ed.
Good to see you, Greta. Yeah, tonight, in fact, it goes on. Bernie Sanders in the Bronx having a rally, mostly with Hispanic voters, Rosaria Dawson, the actress, and others appearing there. Both sides trying to get surrogates out, celebrities doing all they can to really get out the vote. But what's funny is nobody's voting here for at least a few more weeks. It's April 19th, the primary. But the reason they're here is it's really a motherload of delegates, almost 250. It's the second biggest prize for Democrats. California is the biggest, almost 500 delegates on June 7th. And so with Bernie Sanders, the real truth here is that he is in a difficult position because Hillary Clinton has a commanding lead both among the pledged delegates from the actual votes and state-by-state voting, and then on top of that, the superdelegates, the party bosses. But I think that was interesting today, two quick things. One, you mentioned former President Bill Clinton. You saw him there, all of that playing out. The fact of the matter is he didn't just do one event. He did 4 events with labor unions trying to really get out here and be a key surrogate for his wife. And the second thing is just a short time ago at the end of her campaign event here in New York City, the last one for the day for Hillary Clinton, she kind of lost her cool. We don't see this on the trail a lot. A Greenpeace activist on a rope line pressed her about campaign contributions from fossil fuel companies, and she lashed out and said, I'm tired of the lying, she said, from the Sanders campaign. Her campaign just putting out a statement a few moments ago saying that what this activist was asking about is individuals who work at fossil fuel companies giving Hillary Clinton money, something individuals for those same companies have given money to Bernie Sanders, they point out as well. But it was framed as these fossil fuel companies that you say you're going to fight as president are actually giving you money. You don't see Hillary Clinton lose her cool much, especially since she's in the lead, but it shows you Bernie Sanders still nipping at her heels.
Well, but it sort of plays into that whole thing that she won't do another debate with Bernie Sanders until, quote, he changes his tone. I mean, isn't that part of this whole, and I guess apparently she finally had it today.
I think she did, exactly. And I think there's been frustration in the Clinton camp overall because, A, this has gone on longer than they ever expected. But B, I think they were hoping that even if they were still fighting it out, that there wouldn't be the tone where you heard Bernie Sanders in the clip you played a minute ago, still hammering her about the Wall Street speeches. Look, the Sanders camp says these are not negative attacks. This is contrast, and that's what campaigns are about, Greta.
Ed, thank you.
Good to see you.
And while Secretary Clinton and Senator Sanders are hustling tonight in New York, don't forget the great state of Wisconsin on Tuesday. Badger State voters hit the polls, and a brand new Fox Business Network poll of likely Wisconsin Democratic voters shows it's a reasonably tight race. Senator Bernie Sanders sitting in the lead with 48%, but Secretary Clinton is hot on his heels, just 5 points behind with 43%. The On the Record political panel is back from the Daily Beast, Jackie Kucinich, and from the Weekly Standard, Daniel Halper. Daniel, I mean, everyone says that's close. I guess I would have thought that Secretary Clinton would be winning Wisconsin, so, she's losing.
Yeah, it's very strange. A couple things I think are happening that are allowing Bernie Sanders to gain a tiny bit of momentum here. One is that the conventional wisdom is that Hillary Clinton has this locked up. So if you're a Democratic voter and you like Hillary Clinton, you don't really need to go to the polls, and Bernie Sanders is able to, I think, get a lot of momentum going, or you feel free to vote for Bernie Sanders out of conscience rather than, out of heart rather than your mind. The other thing I think is Trump. Trump's surge, I think, makes Democrats think, well, we can win this election easily no matter who we put up, so let's just put up the person that we agree with the most. And I think that's giving Bernie Sanders a lot of this late-term momentum that's really setting him up, I think, for a pretty nice victory in Wisconsin.
Jackie, I don't know who's going to get the Republican nomination, but I think that the Democratic Party, if they think that a battle with Donald Trump is a walk, I think, they may want to rethink that one, because I think that would be a brutal fight. I think that he'll put up a big fight if he gets the nomination.
I mean, they underestimate Donald Trump at their own peril, for sure. I mean, and they know that. When you talk to Democrats off the record, they'll tell, or privately, they'll tell you that, yeah, they're worried about Trump. He brings out a lot of new people that aren't necessarily in there, that they don't have metrics for. But if you look at Wisconsin, it actually, even if Bernie Sanders wins, the problem is he doesn't get the whole pie. It's not like some of the Republican contests where it's winner take all. Hillary takes nibbles off of everything that he gets, and it just increases her delegate count. So the math is still very tough for Bernie Sanders. I'm sure my Twitter feed is not going to be happy about that.
Well, I mean, it's also a little sort of a momentum, though. You want to win it. I mean, the University of Wisconsin in Madison has a huge Bernie Sanders population naturally. I mean, she's really got to clean up in the Milwaukee area. She's really got to get a lot of votes there in order to win. But she wants the momentum, even if it's not going to mean a lot for her number count.
Yeah, look, it's strange. Both, Wisconsin's so important next week, and Donald Trump's in Washington, D.C. today. Hillary Clinton's in New York. You would think they'd be meeting with voters and trying to turn it in their direction. Both are behind. Look, it is important for Hillary Clinton to win.
I'm more surprised she's not there. I mean, with it so neck and neck. I'm more surprised that she's not in Wisconsin tonight.
It's sort of like she's hedging her bet. Like, she knows she's going to lose. She doesn't want to look like she tried too hard.
But running up the score in New York is very, very important for Hillary Clinton. She's won statewide twice. So not only does she have to win, she needs to win substantially.
Jackie, Daniel, thank you both.
Thank you.